All righty, we have a minute and 50 seconds before our 12-team draft. I'm pick number 10 out of 12. So I'm probably going to go late quarterback. It's a two running back, two receiver, Yahoo League, one tight end, a flex. It's a half a PPR, which makes quarterbacks a little more important. But unless it falls my way, I think I'm going to hold off and look to the double quarterback method when we get down to about 8 or 9 or 10 quarterbacks, is to take two quarterbacks. I'm probably looking at Wentz, Brady, Tannehill, Stafford, Daniel Jones, guys I'm looking at to double up. So we'll see how that goes. Also, in tight ends, well, we're just going to see how it goes. I like Higbee as a late pick. If Ertz falls enough to me, or Waller, those are guys I'd like to take. I think Ertz is being thrown to the wolves a little short-sighted. I think he's still going to be a very productive player, even though Dallas Goedert could potentially steal a lot from him. So we got 35 seconds before the draft starts. Half a point PPR, as I said. And hopefully, I think it's about 60 seconds to pick in here in the Yahoo leagues. Oh, it's 30 seconds in these, so that's going to make it a lot quicker. McCaffrey goes. Barkley goes. Yeah, this whole thing should take about 30 minutes, maybe less. Around 30, maybe a little bit more, but we will see. So here's my, I have not put any players up yet. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Thomas goes a little earlier with a half a PPR. I wouldn't expect him to go that high, but then again, he does catch a lot of balls, even a half PPR. He's a very obviously an extremely valuable player. We'll see what falls to me. The Hillier phenomena, now that Damian Williams has opted out to play in the 2020 season, sees him going in the late first round. I'm not so sure if I'm that excited about him. Obviously, if you take him, you want to take Andre Washington, or maybe even Darwin Thompson, or somebody to secure that position, because we don't really know what he's going to do as a rookie. Obviously, he's got great potential with the Kansas City Chiefs. Kamari has gone, and Elliott is gone, and Henry is gone. 3 more picks before my pick. So, oops, I went to the wrong thing. Cooks is gone, and then our buddy we were just talking about, Hilliard, is gone. And let's see where we're at here. And then we have Drake. Drake is really kind of the guy I was looking for. So I think I'm going to either take Hill, or I'm going to take Hill because it's a half a PPR. I would take Adams if it was full. And then we'll see if there's a running back that comes back to me that I like. You got Mixon, who still scares me on that team. You've got Jones for Green Bay, who had a phenomenal year last year. Nixon's gone, so I don't have to worry about him. But I just can't see Jones getting that many touchdowns. Jacobs is an interesting guy for Oakland. Sanders just went. He's a guy who's been going way higher. I mean, that's just incredible. I'm thinking of Jacobs and Akers right now. And Adams just went, so I can't necessarily double up that. So I'm going to go with Jacobs here. A little different kind of pick there, but I think he's really going to be used this year. He was hurt last year in the second half of the Raiders season. Julio Jones is gone. I've been doing a couple 10-team leagues lately, and it's probably going to take me a bit of an adjustment because obviously per round, more players go in a 12-teamer. And Hopkins is gone. That's the third receiver. No, excuse me, the fourth. I can't even count. Fifth receiver, which is typically about where he's going. And our first tight end, Kelsey, went about in the middle of the second round. That's pretty typical. Kittle goes. So let's see what ends up in the bottom of the second round. Aaron Jones is gone for Green Bay. Got to seriously think about a tight end at the bottom of the third round. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 8 or 9 picks we're going to see our first quarterback. Oh, excuse me, Patrick Mahomes just went with the 9th pick in the second round. So the probability of Lamar Jackson making it to me to the bottom of the third round is probably pretty small. And I talked about before this draft started that I probably wanted to go late quarterback. It's probably going to just turn out that way for me anyway. But we'll see. Allen Robinson, very popular player. He's a little lower on my half-a-point cheat sheet. I've got him at 12th with half a point. There goes Eckler. A little surprised he lasted that long. Godwin is gone. Beckham's gone. Another tough guy to decide where to take Beckham. Galloway goes. Wow, it's going to be an interesting decision at the bottom of the third round because I could go with Andrews or Ertz at tight end, assuming one of them will be available at that point. I could take Carson. I could take a lot of running backs, maybe even Taylor for Indianapolis. And you got Evans, DJ Moore for Carolina. Antonio Brown's actually not a bad guy here because for in Tennessee because he doesn't catch as many balls. Thielen just went. Galladay was a nice pick for Team 2. Danny King. Gordon is gone, who I'm having trouble picking. And there's Moore, who's had a pretty darn good 2019 season and is a very good pick there. Mike Evans. Look at this. Lamar Jackson is still available. Connor, who I really don't think is that valuable in the third round. I think he's a little high taken. I think they're going to mix it up this year in Pittsburgh. I don't expect him to get the carries or the targets to be that high of a running back. 2 more players to go. And Lamar is still there. Gurley goes and Carson goes. All right, guys, just for the heck of it, I'm going to go against what I just said, that I'm going to take Lamar Jackson. And then that'll help us kind of see how things flow. So we've got Jackson. Carson went, as I said. So now what we've got on our roster is we've got Jacobs for the Raiders. We've got Hill for Kansas City, Tyreek Hill, and we got Lamar Jackson. So now we've got a lot of decisions to make because I like to get 2 running backs relatively early because there's such a shortage at running back. However, I've taken a quarterback early. Calvin Ridley is gone. Juju Smith-Schuster gone. A. Brown is available for me. Kupp's available for me. Sutton's available for me. And I could reach and get Taylor, or I could take a tight end. Okay, A.J. Brown went. I'm crying. All right, my pick. Fournette went. So do I go Taylor? I'm going to go Taylor here. I better hurry up and do that, I guess, huh? Because I've only got a few seconds. So we're going to go to running backs. We're going to take a rookie for my second running back. Yeah, that's probably risky. David Johnson goes for Houston. All right, we got a long way back. We've got 18 picks before my next pick, so lots going to happen. We'll see what tight ends are available. Again, my sleeper tight end is Higbee. Be nice to get Waller or Ertz, but I have a feeling they're not going to be here, so we'll see what happens. My prediction is Waller, at least Ertz and Andrews will be gone. And Terry McLaurin, man, I just really like that wide receiver for the Giants, but he's going much higher than my my rankings. And Cooper Kupp, who's just a hot and cold player, and Wood could be really good there. Woods could be really good this year with the loss of Cooks. Somebody's going to be catching balls there for the Rams. Keenan Allen, the forgotten Keenan Allen. Of course, he's got Tyrod Taylor throwing to him and a rookie. That's why he slipped so much. Mark Ingram. And Ingram could see some push from the rookie Dobbins. I'm not that high on Ingram. I'm a little worried about his role with the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, Lockett just went. Sorry, can't do two things at once. Swift gone. One of my favorite players to take. Mostert, another guy who's a good pick there. And unfortunately, one of the tight ends is gone. Montgomery, going to be interesting to see if he can't rebound from a poor rookie season. Not necessarily his fault. 6 more before my pick. Can I get Ertz? I seriously doubt. If Ertz is available, I'm taking him. If he's taken, I could probably go receiver here. Sutton, Parker, Hilton, Metcalf. Did Metcalf go? I don't think he did. And there goes Ertz. So my prediction rang true. I wouldn't be able to get Mark Andrews or Ertz. Le'Veon Bell goes. So I got 2 running backs. I got 1 receiver, 1 quarterback. I could take a tight end coming up, or I could go for the next best wide receiver. Sutton just went. And people are laying off Parker. They just can't believe the incredible season last year. Dak Prescott, 3rd quarterback goes. 2 before my pick. So I've got Parker, Hilton, who's been an injury prone, and here in preseason or just before preseason, in his own personal workouts, already hurt his hamstring, which just worries me. This guy can't even stay healthy just working out at his own facility. It's really sad. And Parker's kind of a risk because he's never been productive until last year. Chark just went. So it's either Waller or Parker. I probably should just bite the bone and go with Parker. That's on my list. I could take Marcus Brown, who I love. Maybe I can get him in the next round. I always seem to miss him. I'm so worried that Baltimore runs the ball so much, but the coaching staff has said that Hollywood Brown is going to be a breakout year in his sophomore season. Singletary just went. All right, so I've got 20 seconds to decide what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to go with Parker, assuming I can find him on this list. I don't even see him on. Oh, here he is. Okay. All right. I'll go with Parker. Obviously, I don't like what I'm doing, but I'm going to go with Parker. I'm going to leave Hilton alone. Metcalf just went. Waller, Higbee. I mean, if Hollywood Brown's available, it's tempting to go Hollywood Brown and then see if Higbee will last to the bottom of the 7th. Let's sneak over here and let's put Hilton on here. Marcus Brown. Let's go to tight end. Let's put let's put my two guys there. Waller's actually ranked lower, and we'll come back here. All right, Akers went. I like Akers. Oh my gosh, already my pick. All right, so do I go with Waller or I'm going to go Marcus Brown. I just want him on a team. It's about the right place. And going to go Marcus Brown. And then I'm going to see what tight end. Let's see if Higbee can last at the bottom of the 7th round. So I skipped Hilton. I have skipped Hilton. Just concerned about his injury issue last year, and then he's already hurt this year. It just concerns me. Hunt went early, very intriguing pick. And here goes some quarterbacks. We had Russell in the first pick in the 6th round. Then we have Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson going. Russell Wilson, like I said. So oh my gosh, there goes Higbee. So my theory did not work. I lost Higbee for Brown. Geis is gone. Well, that kind of hurts. Higbee had an incredible second half of the season in 2019. It's just phenomenal. He had some huge games. He was like the top 3 tight end. Will he do it again this year? Is Everett's back healthy? You know, we don't know. And that's the risk of taking him. But I pretty much lost out. Diggs just went. Boyd went. Two guys I'm not really pushing that hard on my personal leagues. Hunter Henry went. I wonder if Waller's going to last. I can't believe Waller's going to last. Yeah, it's going to be dicey now at tight end. I don't like Ingram. And there's T.Y. Hilton that just went. I don't like Ingram for the Giants because he gets hurt. When he's not hurt, he plays. His numbers are huge. And the question is, can we assume he's going to not be hurt this year? And that's the risk that you take. Gallup went for Dallas, and there's Waller's gone. So my Brown pick has cost me my tight ends, and now I have to do some rethinking of my tight ends. It's only 15 rounds in this, if I'm correct. Let me go down and double check that. So doubling up on tight ends is not necessarily a smart move. Matt Ryan has gone. So I'm a little bit disappointed, but, you know, you can't have everybody. I decided to take Hollywood Brown, and now I've got to find a tight end. I may go with Ingram, even though I don't like it. But I don't necessarily have to take him right now. Matt goes for Indianapolis. Yeah, I tell you what, that's a bummer. You have to keep your focus in drafts. So, you know, let's go up here and go to tight ends. You've got Cook. I really don't want to, you know, Hurst actually is an interesting guy. Grusicki and all these guys here, even Font. I may end up having to double up on tight ends. I really don't want to do that, but I may have to go for a tight end and then take a guy like Fant or TJ Hawkinson or Junior Smith for Tennessee. Breeze just went, and J.K. Dobbins, the running back we talked about earlier, who's an intriguing guy that you can get. All right, now I need to start thinking about my quarterback. I'm down. There's 9 quarterbacks have gone. That's another guy I need to think about. I've got 3 receivers, 2 running backs, a quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I took Lamar Jackson. I don't need a second quarterback. My late quarterback is something I decided not to do. Howard. Oh my gosh, it's my pick. What am I going to do? All right, I don't think I need to take a tight end that early. And I didn't prepare. See, I'm not prepared. That's something I get 14 seconds to decide to pick. I'm going to take Landry. Quick pick. Not really who I want to take because I wasn't prepared. But he's a very good player. People forget about him. So now I've got 4 wide receivers. Probably should find the next best running back, which there isn't much of. AJ Green went before my pick. Edelman went. Let's go look at the running backs real quick. Running backs. My cheat sheet. Really got Robert Jones. Ugh, God, it's tough when you're taking a Robert Jones. Henderson, I think I can get a little later. So really, Robert Jones is a guy I'd probably be targeting right now. Cook just went, so the tight ends are a mess. I could take Ingram. And did Gronkowski go yet? No, he didn't. Boy, I'm a little confused at what to do. I'm out of my element. You know, Gesicki did well last year. I could take him and take Fant or take Hawkinson. There's a lot of guys there. Ingram, you can really play well. Somebody just took San Francisco defense. And Aaron Rodgers goes. So, you know what? I'm just going to wait on I'm going to take Jones. He could end up being the starter for Tampa Bay at running back. And then we'll just see what happens at tight end at the bottom of the ninth. And I may just end up having to take a tight end then. So I've got 3 running backs. I've got 4 receivers. I've got Lamar Jackson, my quarterback, and then Ingram goes on the next pick, or actually Deontay Johnson and then Ingram. Deontay Johnson, interesting pick for Pittsburgh. Played pretty well his rookie season. Pittsburgh's defense is gone, so some guys are sneaking defenses early. I personally don't like doing that. And then Cooks goes for New Orleans. That's a nice pick. This guy's been sliding. I personally don't like him that much. But, boy, he's going to get targets, you would think, in Houston with the loss of Hopkins. Fuller just went. So, you know, I'm really down to Hurst at tight end, Gronkowski, Doyle, Gesicki, Fant, Hawkinson. And, you know, I'm really not looking at one of those guys and going, oh, boy, I just need one of those players. So I may try and just wait a couple of rounds and take somebody like Gesicki and take Hawkinson and have to actually take 2 tight ends and just take 1 running back, 1 quarterback. James White is gone. Another phenomena this year to try and figure out. Marvin Jones, an excellent pick there. Tavius Murray at running back, who had an excellent year last year. Let's flip over here. Let's go to wide receivers. I like Darius Slayton personally. Crawford's a good player. Debo's an interesting guy to think about. Let's go to running backs real quick. Henderson's probably too early. Let's go back to the draft. What have we missed? Stafford is gone. So there's a significant amount of quarterbacks gone. Stafford's a nice pick. It's interesting, Danny Kane there, the second, has already taken Ryan to Stafford. So he's doubled up at quarterback. I like doubling up at quarterback, but in shorter leagues like this one where you have 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, you only have a 15-person roster. And I've also taken an excellent quarterback in Lamar Jackson. It's hard for me to double up on a quarterback, especially now I'm weak at tight end, which I have no tight ends. Tucker just went. Buffalo went. I like Buffalo's defense. I'm not going to take a defense for a while. And as a matter of fact, it's August 5th today. And what I did in one of the drafts yesterday is there were so many valuable players at running back and receiver, really, that I ended up not taking a defense and not taking a kicker with the assumption that the league will have free agency. It was a 10-team league. It's a little different with 12. There's fewer defenses and kickers that will be available. Kerryon Johnson just went. So I could slide at least the kicker and pick an extra player to see how they do during preseason. Roethlisberger's gone. Butler's gone. And the problem with defenses and kickers is they're so hard to figure, and from one year to another, they could just completely flop. And just less reliable than other positions, skill positions. So to me, it's really difficult to take one. All right. No tight ends have gone. I don't know. Henderson with Slayton, this guy I kind of like. Let's see if Slayton lasts one more pick. So it's Slayton or Henderson. I think I'm going to take Slayton. I'll have 5 receivers, and let's see if Henderson leaves around. Anthony Miller just went. So I'm going to take Slayton for the Giants. I think he may end up being their #1 receiver. I think Sterling Shepard has had so many issues with concussions that I'm leaving him alone. Breda went, who's another nice pick. Henderson with the Rams didn't do much in his rookie season, did very little, actually. However, he's a second-year running back. He's a pass catcher. Brady just went with the first pick in the 10th round, and that person also is doubled up at quarterback. He had Russell Wilson in the 6th round, and he takes Brady in the 10th round. One more pick before me. Alexander Madison went. So, you know, I'm going to take Henderson, running back, the Rams. I've got 4 running backs now. He's a second-year running back. You know, everybody gets excited about the rookies, and I do too. I already have Jonathan Taylor. But sometimes these second-year running backs who took a back seat and learned a lot their rookie season can actually be really valuable. Of course, if I have the most productive running back on the Rams, I'm going to be doing pretty well. So his upside is high, and his downside is Hawkinson just went. Another guy I kind of wanted to steal. So I probably ought to seriously consider taking my tight end in the 11th round. I've got a significant amount of receivers and running backs. I'm going to let go kickers and defenses for a while, if not completely. John Brown with Buffalo, going a little later than he did last year with the, you know, they've got Diggs now in Buffalo. Deebo Samuel is going to be hurt for several weeks, has fallen, and he could be a great second-half running back. Gesicki's gone, so it's getting a little slimmer for me. Let's see. If I look at this board, which I love to do, everybody's taking a tight end except me and the guy to my right. So if I can get through the rest of these picks, I can take the next best tight end. We've got Hurst for Atlanta, Gronkowski, and Doyle and Fant and Juju Smith and even Hooper for Cleveland. So probably end up taking one of those guys. Sterling Shepard just wins. Hooper's a great player, but I just don't know what he's going to do with Cleveland. Hurst has a real high potential, so maybe a bunch of people will take a few, and my decision will be made for me. We will find out. So we're getting near the bottom of the 10th round. Another place kicker went, Greg Zuerlein. Hurst just went, so I don't have to worry about taking him. So that guy doubled up on tight ends. Tyreek Cohen is gone for Chicago. And the bottom of the 11th, we got Cam Newton gone. Tony Pollard for Dallas. Let's see, did he back that up? He didn't do a backup because he didn't even take Elliott. So Crawford, a fine pick for the Jets. I've got 4 running backs, 5 receivers, no tight ends. Coleman goes for San Francisco. Five more players before I take my tight end. Lamb goes for the Cowboys. All right. Minnesota defense goes. I really don't know what I'm going to do here. Mayfield went. Okay, let's go back to our tight ends. Gronkowski it's a half a point PPR in this league. All right. Christian Kirk went, Chase Edmonds went, Mayfield went, and now it's my pick. You know, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Gronkowski, and then I'm going to back up with one of these other tight ends. I'm going to end up taking 2 tight ends. So we're going to go with Gronkowski. It's a half a point PPR. If he's a red zone demon, he could be very productive. So either I'm going to take Doyle or Fant right now, or Juju Smith. And I may end up taking him here right around the turn. Juju Smith just went. So it's either Doyle or Fant. I'm going to double up here in 3 more picks, 3 more overall picks, my next pick. Mike Williams went for Los Angeles Chargers. Hawkinson's a real interesting pick. Vaughn went for Tampa Bay. That's another good wild card pick. One I probably should have backed up my did I take him or Ronald Jones? Yeah, I probably should have got Vaughn as a backup. And there goes Noah Fant. So I'm not taking Noah Fant. So that really leaves me with Doyle. Hooper I don't really care for. Hendren is a total wild card. Doyle could be very productive this year. So I'm going to take Doyle. Now I've got my 2 tight ends. I really can't take a third. That would be crazy with only 15 roster spots. So I didn't really do very well at tight end, and I had to double up. And the reason I doubled that up, Chicago defense just went. Duke Johnson just went. And the reason I had to double up is because obviously I'm just hoping one of those 2 tight ends goes. And of course, Zach Moss just went, another nice pick at running back. So I've got 13, 14. I've got 3 more picks left. Do I take a defense or just take raw talent and pick a defense up at free agency? Boston Scott just went. Michael Pittman, wide receiver, just went. Daniel Jones went. So a lot of these players are taking 2 quarterbacks. I'm not going to do that because of the value I got. Let's go look at defenses real quick. New England, Kansas City, New Orleans, Rams, Denver. Actually, Denver's not a bad defense. Goff just went. Goff is a guy who finished, I think it was 8th last year at wide receiver, at quarterback. And he had such bad games, but he ended up overall really well. Obviously, he had some really good games. And people just don't trust him, even though all the other skill positions we're assuming are going to do well. So he's going to be throwing the ball to all these receivers and running backs. So he could be a sneaky quarterback. 12th round, you get Goff. I think that's value. Nyheim Hines just went. He's supposed to catch the ball more this year. I like Kelly at Los Angeles Chargers. Whoops, that's not where I wanted to go. Let's go running backs. Where is Kelly? And he's really not well thought of, and he's a real wild card. And we're getting to that wild card. Antonio Gibson also is an interesting guy. Let's go back to receivers real quickly. Hardman should be considered. The Denver, Jerry Jeudy, Golden Tate, I don't particularly care for. And then Robbie Anderson, one of my favorites, Priest Williams. Oh my gosh. Alshon Jeffries, who we've all decided we're scared of. Okay, New England defense went in the first pick in the 13th. Jalen Reagor for Philadelphia. Austin Hooper for Cleveland. So I think I'm gonna take either a running back or receiver, and we're gonna go into the last 2 rounds deciding whether I'm gonna take a defense or a kicker. Los Angeles Rams defense just went. Blake Jarwin for Dallas just went. So a lot of backup. A lot of people taking 2 tight ends, even though I think you should only take 1 with 15. So I'm lucky I probably got Doyle and Rob Gronkowski. If I'd have waited on one of those guys, I would have missed him. Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, just went, and Hardman just went. He's going pretty late, but there's so much talent there in Kansas City. It's hard for him to be productive other than maybe best ball would be a good spot. 2 more picks before mine. We got Jerry Jeudy for Denver just went. Yeah, we'll see what's next here. And then a receiver. So we have Kansas City. Okay. We got Robbie Anderson. And I think I'm going to take Anderson. He's going to be very productive with Carolina. I think I can get Kelly on the loop if I want to take a running back. So we're going to go Anderson here. Now I have 6 wide receivers. And I have Robbie Anderson rated 42 on my cheat sheet. And there went Gibson. Antonio Gibson's a very intriguing guy for Washington. Is supposed to catch the ball well at running back. Dallas Goedert went. Golden Tate went. And James Washington went. You know, also a guy I forgot about. Let's go see if I can't find him with his deal is Washington. All right, let me see if I can do that in 18. I'm going to take this guy instead, running back, Washington. See, Kansas City running back DeAndre Washington could end up being a very productive running back because Damian Williams is gone. I keep forgetting about him on my cheat sheet. I need to move him up. So he's actually a pretty good wild card here in the 14th round. Ryan Tannehill is gone. With Damian Williams gone in Kansas City, obviously Hilaire is potentially has a big thing. I mean, you have to pay so much to get him. You have to get him virtually in the first round. And let's go up here. Where did he go? He went, before me in the first round. He went way early in the first round. And when you're taking a rookie like that high, he's going to have to produce. So you really need to be getting a DeAndre Washington or a Thompson, Darwin Thompson, or somebody to kind of handcuff in a way Hillier if you're going to end up taking him that high. I mean, DeAndre Washington could end up being a goal line guy to half-point PPR. It's whoever has taken Hillier should really back him up, which they haven't. All right, Los Angeles Rams defense went. Chris Herndon, the tight end for Jets, is a nice wild card. Just flopped last year. I don't think he had the attitude. He says he's changed his ways. He could be very productive. Could be an excellent pick. And that's a nice thing that team did because they took Higbee, who is one of my favorites, but Higbee is still an unproven talent per se. So getting a Herndon, a handcuff, a wild card is a good idea. Matt Gay went Justin Jefferson, a wide receiver rookie for Minnesota. Adrian Peterson, we're all forgetting about. Brandon Ayuk, or however you pronounce it, Ayuk. He's for San Francisco. So I got one more pick. So could I take a defense? Should I waste myself on a defense? I'm the second to the last pick, third to the last pick. Those two teams still having a defense. They're probably, well, let's flip down here. Yeah, they don't have defenses yet. No, I have San Francisco and the other one doesn't. So why take a defense? Cousins just went. Matt Prater went. Let's see if we can find another player, probably running back or receiver, that could end up doing well in preseason. Let's go to flex. Justin Jackson could be another guy. I think Kelly's going to outperform him, but Jackson could be another guy because if Iker can't do well. Preston Williams is a really good player. Deshaun Jackson always gets hurt. And Alshon Jeffries. I mean, Alshon Jeffries, if he's healthy this year, which, it still remains to be seen, can end up being a wide receiver too. And with a productive quarterback. Wentz was the 8th rated quarterback last year, and he had a bad year. It's like, Wentz had a horrible year, and he was the 8th rated quarterback. Thinking of quarterbacks, let's real quickly just see if there's any guy just hanging out. And not really. All right, couple more picks. I think we ought to probably seriously consider – we should consider Kelly for the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go see if he's still – is Kelly still available? Okay, Yeah, it just yelled at me. How dare it? I can't tell. All right, let's go real quickly. I've got 20 seconds. We have Kelly, Preston Williams, wide receiver, or Alshon Jeffries. All three of those could be great picks. I'm going to go with Jeffries because he could end up being a wide receiver too this year. And so I've done a very sneaky thing. I haven't taken a defense. I haven't taken a kicker. And in the preseason, I can pick those guys up. I even think Denver may have still been available, which is a very, Denver just went in this last round. We had Kansas City, Denver, and Philadelphia. So it's something to think about in your drafts, especially short roster drafts. Cleveland defense just went. Alshon Jeffries I took just before that, Ebron before that, and Jake Elliott. I like Jake Elliott, the kicker for Philadelphia. And Indianapolis just went. So the draft is done. And I can't get that off there. The draft is done. I hope you enjoyed it. And did some very interesting things there.